it's Michelle, and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. We have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So the wonderful William of Wales came out to New York City for a 2-day visit, and he received a large rock star welcome. The people of New York City lined the streets to welcome the prince to the Big Apple. Now, he really did prove he is the most popular royal. One onlooker said New Yorkers don't care about movie stars. They don't think it's a big deal. But people came out in droves to welcome Prince William to New York City. And I have to say, he looked mighty fine doing that. He is such a good-looking man. So Prince William is there in New York City for 2 days to meet with world leaders to discuss climate change and, of course, to announce the 15 finalists for the Earthshot Prize. Now, Prince William met with the UN Secretary General to discuss fighting climate change after getting waist deep in the Hudson when he toured the Billion Oyster Project. William is not afraid to get down and dirty. The students and the volunteers who are involved in this huge project found him to be very down to earth and very genuine, and ultimately very interested in learning about the project and what it's doing for the environment. Prince William also met with Prince Albert of Monaco and former Microsoft CEO Bill Gates in New York as they joined forces at the Earthshot Summit. He then headed on stage to announce the Earthshot winners and revealed he started his day by going for a run in Central Park. I love the fact that Prince William can just casually go for a run where he's not packed, and he could just go incognito. Here he is discussing his jog in Central Park.
Is it true? Did you go running in Central Park this morning?
I did, Vita, yes. I decided to join the hordes of New Yorkers doing their morning routine as they went around Central Park. But it was wonderful waking up in New York on a sunny morning, rather than the rain we had yesterday, and it was beautiful getting some fresh air this morning.
Now, although Prince William is not addressing the General Assembly, Kensington Palace released a formal statement saying, quote, "The Prince is very much looking forward to seeing the Secretary General, and they are expected to speak about climate change and the environment, as well as the innovative solutions that Earthshot Prize is cultivating around the world." See, real leaders want to meet with Prince William because he is the future king, unlike Prince Harry, who has to force his way into the UN for a pap appearance. So Catherine, the Princess of Wales, looked a vision in another pantsuit as she visited the Streets of Growth outreach charity. Upon arrival at the charity's headquarters, the princess met with frontline staff who work with young people at risk of falling into crime or those who have already experienced harm or trauma, and that aids them by tailoring a pathway of specialized intervention coaching. Now, speaking with a team of frontline workers, Catherine said, quote, "Young people get judged on their external behavior, but you have to understand their backstory. They haven't probably seen trusting relationships in their lives, so that's so important." Now, we know that Catherine works with the Early Years, one of her biggest charities, and she said, "We're keen to connect the dots with work in early childhood and the importance of meeting families and young people before they reach the crisis point." She said, "I love the fact you're going out into the communities. Kids are so isolated. They're at home with these huge struggles." Now, many of the people who are working on the staff for Streets of Growth were once helped out by the organization and have since returned to the charity to pay it forward and to show support and coaching for the younger people. The charity specializes in targeted outreach programs for young people from the ages of 15 to 25 to re-engage within the community. So I love the fact that Catherine recognizes young people need help. We need to get to them before they get to the point of a crisis. Many teenagers do not get the proper guidance and love and support at home. And this is why a lot of young people turn to bad choices. So if you can get them in the early years, you're kind of stopping it at the root cause. So I applaud Catherine for really making this one of her life's missions. Now, since the charity opened in 2001, they have transformed over 5,000 young people. So that's phenomenal. And I believe they're going to make a positive impact for the future. Well, King Charles and Queen Camilla have arrived in France to start their first of a 3-day state visit. Now, earlier this year in March, they were set to visit France. However, their visit was canceled due to the riots that were happening. Now, the King and Queen arrived at Orly Airport on the outskirts of Paris on Wednesday afternoon, where they began their state visit to France. They were greeted by the French Prime Minister, Miss Elizabeth Borne, on behalf of the President, Emmanuel Macron. Now, Camilla looked absolutely beautiful in this baby pink coat dress with a matching hat. Unfortunately, it was really windy, and she had a rather difficult time trying to keep her hat attached. I felt really bad for Camilla, but I think she handled it with grace. King Charles was then invited to light the external flame, which burns as a memorial of those who died in 2 world wars. The Arc de Triomphe was where Charles' mother, Queen Elizabeth, received a ceremonial welcome to France as her last state visit in 2014. Now, in the evening, King Charles and Queen Camilla were going to be the guest of honor at a huge glittering state banquet at the Palace of Versailles. I can only imagine how gorgeous it must have been inside that dinner. So King Charles and Queen Camilla attended a formal state dinner at the Palace of Versailles, and they were joined alongside 160 other guests, including celebrities Sir Mick Jagger and Hugh Grant. Now, Camilla looked stunning in Dior. She wore this navy evening gown that was a minimal Dior couture design with embroidery at the belt paired with a long evening coat with embroidered trim. Now, alongside this beautiful gown, she paid a special tribute to her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. She wore Queen Elizabeth II's diamond and sapphire necklace, otherwise known as George VI sapphires. Now, the late Queen had received this necklace as a gift from her father on her birthday. Now, the First Lady of France also looked stunning. She wore a navy ensemble as well. Now, her gown was embroidered with a crystal collar and cuffs. Both of these ladies, I think, looked absolutely stunning. Now, during the event, King Charles and President Macron gave each other warm toast, and it looks like everyone had an amazing time. It appears the relationship between the UK and France has been strengthened, and you can tell by the body language between the two men and the two couples that there does seem to be a real respect and affection for one another. So I think this is going to be a very successful 3-day state trip. So did Meghan Markle's ex-BFF Jessica Mulroney throw some subtle shade at the Duchess of Sussex? Most recently, Jessica Mulroney took to her Instagram stories where she shared a very cryptic quote about practicing detachment 3 years after a falling out with Meghan Markle. She says, "As loving as I am, my detachment game is strong too." Do you think that was a reference to the falling out of her friendship with Meghan Markle? Now, a lot of people are definitely calling that out, but of course she has been radio silent in regards to her relationship or lack of relationship of Meghan Markle. Now, Jessica Mulroney and Meghan Markle met on the set of Suits when Jessica was working as her stylist. They were so close that Meghan Markle was even on FaceTime when she was getting proposed to from Prince Harry, where she was giving Jessica Mulroney a play-by-play of what was happening. That's extremely close. Also, all three of Jessica's children were involved in Meghan Markle's wedding. So they were very, very close at the time. But according to some insiders, their relationship was starting to cool and crumble way before the huge incident that happened in 2020. Now, according to this insider, Meghan Markle believed that Jessica Mulroney was, quote, benefiting from her friendship with Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle, are you looking in the mirror, sweetheart? You are literally the GOAT, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, of using people for your own advancement. Now, we know that Meghan Markle is literally the queen of ghosting, okay? She is such the GOAT of ghosting that this woman has a term, markled, which is in the Urban Dictionary for when someone gets dumped and ghosted, you get markled. To have a term named after you means you're a pretty cold-hearted snake, in my opinion. Just like the Paula Abdul song, Cold-Hearted Snake. That's literally Meghan Markle's theme song. You definitely need to use that, girl, as a ringtone on your cell phone. Just saying. Meghan Markle must love Halloween. That's got to be her favorite holiday because this girlfriend loves a graveyard. She's done and buried many people, friends, and family alike when she ghosts them. She has her own graveyard, okay? But Meghan Markle saying that Jessica Mulroney was benefiting from her friendship. So insiders were saying that she was looking for a, quote, excuse to dump Jessica Mulroney. And then in 2020, that huge scandal erupted where Jessica Mulroney pretty much got canceled by another influencer who was calling her out for not doing enough for the Black Lives Movement. Now, during this time, it was a very controversial time. A lot of people didn't know what to do, and she, in my opinion, was being bullied by another influencer by the name of Sasha. Now, the two ladies traded on some messages, I believe through text or instant messenger, and it got really heated to where Sasha pretty much went on her Instagram and had her canceled. And she was publicly shamed. And during this time, Meghan Markle, who's supposed to be her bestie, did not come out to her defense, which speaks volumes. She was literally silent. Now, according to the insider, they said that Meghan Markle wanted to appear woke. Therefore, she didn't come out and publicly stand with Jessica Mulroney. So Meghan Markle silently let her friend be trashed in the media. This woman lost money. She didn't care. She pretty much dumped Jessica Mulroney. Now, even though Jessica Mulroney came out and said, we're family, don't listen to the press, we're still good, it's pretty obvious the two of them are not really friends. Jessica Mulroney stopped wishing her happy birthday, never came out and publicly congratulated her when she had her daughter, Lilibet. She pretty much went radio silent and never shared or discussed Meghan Markle since 2020. So now her coming out with this Instagram post about I've learned to detach myself from people means she's learning a very valuable lesson that a lot of us have learned, is you really learn who your friends are when the chips are down. And we all know that Meghan Markle is not a ride or die chick. She is not a real friend. She is what you call a fair weather friend. Meghan Markle is only your friend when things are good and when it can benefit her, which I find hilarious and ironic and hypocritical that she wanted to dump Jessica Mulroney because, quote, she was benefiting from knowing me. Really, Meghan? How many people have you dumped from benefiting, right? The girl who was on Made in Chelsea, you dumped her the minute you got with Prince Harry, Piers Morgan. The list goes on. So the fact that Meghan Markle was appalled that Jessica Mulroney was getting some kind of success is laughable. Meghan Markle reminds me of the type of person who's your friend as long as you're not doing well or that you're doing better than they are. And the minute you get successful or things are happening for you, they're not happy for you. You ever have that type of friend who's happy when things are going bad for you or happy when you're always below them? But the minute you get to their level or you exceed them, all of a sudden they're not happy for you and they don't even speak to you and they never congratulate you. That is what Meghan Markle is, in my opinion. She only likes you to a certain level, and once she gets what she needs from you, you're in the graveyard, sweetheart, being markled. So Jessica Mulroney, heaven forbid, she got a contract or a deal or got some positive attention due to her knowing Meghan Markle. Meghan wanted to nip that in the bud. How dare Jessica be successful? It's like a real friend would want you to be successful. So in my opinion, Jessica, you dodged a bullet. Meghan Markle was not your friend. She used you until she got Harry, that ring on her finger, and now she no longer wants to be associated with you. Now, the interesting thing is going to happen is when Meghan Markle finally divorces Prince Harry, who are going to stand by her? Who are her real friends going to be? Because Meghan Markle, mark my words, one of these days, she's going to reach back out to someone like Jessica Mulroney, and Jessica Mulroney is going to have that door firmly shut. So good for you, Jessica. You learned a valuable lesson. Better late than never. And Meghan Markle, you're going to be in for a rude awakening when you find out you've surrounded yourself with people who don't really like you. Well, guys, that is all the royal news that I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.